question number one, what they are saying, they are saying that your ice is something submerged and some part is above. Okay, so question number one, what we have to calculate, that is the fraction of ice below and above the water. Fraction of your ice na, below and above the water. Okay, so the principle here we are applying is Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle. Okay, now that is directly that Bayon's force. Bayon's
Yes.
force. Okay, now see what we have given. We have given some quantities such as density of ice is equal to your 917 kg per meter cube, and density of sea water na, where it is submerged, some part is submerged, that is 1024 kg per meter cube. Now how can I calculate? I will calculate the fraction of ice submerged by this principle only, fraction of ice submerged by this principle, that is V submerged divided by V of total, and it is nothing but rho of ice and rho of water, that is your sea water. Okay, so it will be nothing but 917 divided by 1024. Okay, now it is approximately coming 0.8955. Fine. So this is what, this is the ratio, that is the fraction, that is of ice is submerged, or in percentage I can say that 89.55%, right, in percentage. But they are asking how much ice is above. So how can I calculate fraction of ice? Fraction of
Ma'am,
ice
it will be
is above.
10.65.
10.45 actually. 1 minus 0.8955. So it will be nothing but 1045, or I can say 10.45%. Right? Means it is very interesting a part also, that is, see, such a huge sea and only 10% is above, and see how much vast it is at the downstairs. Okay, so your submarines or your big जो बड़े बड़े बहुत ज़्यादा बड़े बड़े जहाज़ होते हैं जो आपके अलास्का वलास्का की तरफ जाते हैं, सो दे हैव टू वेरी टेक केयर ऑफ दिस, that about these icebergs. Okay, about these icebergs. This is question number 2, right? What they are saying, we have to find the total volume of the iceberg. Total volume of the iceberg. How can we calculate? See, first I will calculate the rho. Rho means density. Now see what is given. Given quantities are density of ice. Density of ice. What is given? That is 0.918 gram per centimeter cube. So how can I write? I can write it 918 kg per meter cube. Right? I can write it. Now density of water. Density of water where it is submerged, that is 1.03 gram per centimeter cube, or I can write it as 1030 kg per meter cube. Okay, so how much it is above the water? Volume that is above the water, above the water. Okay, how can I say? I say this thing is equal to V. Then what will happen? V above upon V is equal to 1 minus rho ice upon rho water. Okay, this will, how can I calculate? I know that density is equal to mass upon volume. Mass upon volume, by this relationship we have calculated this one. Now I will use this relationship and put all the values, that is 1 minus 918, things are given to us, 1030 is equal to nothing but 1 minus 0.8913, or I can say this much value is 1087, 0.1087. Right, now what I will do, I have this thing, so I will do that. My V will be nothing but it will be 224 divided by 0.1087, 1087. Okay, and this thing approximately 2060.26 meter cube. Okay, did you got Viren? So question number 3, that is what we have to calculate, the fraction projected in liquid. And they have given the rho is equal to 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. Now see, in water, given that your 1/6 of the volume is above water. Okay, is above the water. So that means this directly implies that 5/6 volume is submerged. 5/6 part is submerged when 1/6 is upside. So I can say that rho of body is nothing but 5/6 of rho of water. I can say this thing also. So now we place in the new liquid, means first it is the body is in water, then second time the liquid is in this type of liquid whose density is 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, now the body is placed. Now I'm change the color so that to differentiate. Now the body is done what? Body is in new liquid whose density is your 1.2, whose rho is your 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so what is our duty? Our finding is fraction submerged. Submerged. So what I will do, that is rho of body divided by rho of liquid. Okay, so it is nothing but 5 by 6 into 1 divided by 1.2. So I will get 5 by 7.2 and approximately it is 0.6944. Right? So fraction above will be what? So your fraction above. Okay, so nothing but 1 minus 0.6944 is equal to nothing but your volume, that is your minus करने पर कितना आ रहा है 0.3056 or I can say 30.56%, right? So that much percent of the volume will projected upward. That much percentage of the volume will be projected upward. Okay, this is the kind of things in childhood you play na, by standing pen and you just put it in the liquid or in water, you do like this one na? That type of experiment only, this one. Okay, question number 4 में density, we have to do that density of sphere. Okay, density of sphere floating, it is floating half in oil and half in mercury. It is only required according to your question, right? So what is given is nothing but the rho of oil, mean density of oil is what? Is 0.8 gram per centimeter cube and density of mercury is given 13.6 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so since half is immersed, so what I will do, total Biotent force, Biotent force. Why I am saying that the sphere is immersed half in oil and half in mercury. So I have to do this. Now what? Average density of the fluid. Density of the fluid is what? Average density of the fluid is what? Rho 0 plus rho mercury divided by 2. This only average. How we calculate average of anything? So 13.6 divided by 2. It is approximately 7.2. Right? So for floating, what we needed? That is both should be floating. क्या चाहिए? Rho of your sphere is equal to rho of the fluid average. That only is needed for floating any quantity. So it will be nothing but 7.2 gram per centimeter cube. So what should be the density of sphere? Density of sphere will be this one. So I can write that density of the sphere is nothing but 7.2 gram per centimeter cube. Okay. So question number 5. See question number 5. Question number 5 is that we have given iceberg weight, that is 400 tons. 400 tons. So that means that how much kg we have? 400,000 kg. 400,000 kg. Right. Now they have given one more thing, that is the specific gravity of iceberg. Specific gravity of your iceberg. What is that? That is 0.92. Second thing, they also given the specific gravity of water. Specific gravity of your water. What is that value? Tell me. That is 1.02. Right. Now fraction of the submerged. Okay, this will be equal to nothing but a specific gravity of your ice divided by specific gravity of your water. Okay, this is the formula we used here, that is 0.92 divided by 1.02 and it is equal to nothing but approximately 0.90196. Okay, so I can say in percentages 90.2% of iceberg is below the water. When you have given the specific gravity na, then the fraction of submerge is the ratio of the your specific gravity. Okay. Now see in question number 6. Okay, what is they are asking about the pressure. Every quantity is measured as a mercury. Okay, mercury pressure. So question number 6 is that I know that pressure in mercury is what? It is H, mercury height, if I am saying that Ph is equal to rho Hg We know that P is equal to rho Hg, so it will be rho G, rho G. But we want to reverse, that is we have to calculate height above sea level from the mercury pressure. Okay, we have to do it reverse, that is calculate height above, na, above sea level from mercury pressure. This is our task. Okay, so standard pressure at sea level is what? Standard pressure at sea level, tell me how much it is. 76 centimeter, 76 centimeter of Hg column, right? And my given pressure is what? Given pressure is nothing but 70 centimeter Hg. Okay, so it is the less pressure, so I will say that less pressure. So I will say that higher altitude, because at a higher altitude there is less pressure. You understand this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Now next is that drop in pressure. They have given drop in pressure, and it is how much? It is 6 centimeter Hg. This is the amount of drop in pressure. So I can say that, now I can say that 1 centimeter Hg is approximately 12 altitude, or I can say that delta H is approximately equal to 6 into 12, that is 72 meter, or I can say that height will be, the required height is equal to 72 meter above sea level. Okay, 72 meter above sea level. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, got it.
That I have to calculate the place is one, the place is how much? Place is your 1250 meter above the sea level, above the sea level. Okay, so my question is that what is the pressure in your Hg column? So what I will do, first I will use the pressure drop per meter. So I will do that, pressure drop per meter. Okay, so it will be nothing but 76 centimeter Hg column divided by 10500 meter. Okay, so it is nothing but approximately 0.00724 centimeter per meter. Okay, so I can say change in P is 1250 into 0.00724, or approximately your 9.05 centimeter Hg, right? So my pressure will be what? So my pressure will be what? It is nothing but 76 minus 9.05, and it is approximately equal to 66.95 centimeter H. Okay, this is your answer. See, they are asking about impulse. Okay, impulse. Impulse is a very important quantity when we are saying that some amount of force is applied for very short duration of time. Okay, short duration of time. This is very short. Now see, in examples where you see collision time, when one body is colliding with the another body, it is very short duration of time, right? When we are observing something scattering, that is also very short duration of time. So impulse J is your force into duration of time, that is Newton second. Or I can directly say that this impulse is J is equal to your change in momentum also. Change in momentum. Momentum is that studying the motion of any body. So momentum is equal to what? Mass into velocity, right? Momentum P is mass into velocity. So I can write delta P is equal to what? Mass, final velocity minus initial velocity. Or I can write this thing directly as your J. Now in question number 5th, they are asking about the impulse and change in momentum. Impulse and change in momentum. They have given force is equal to 100 Newton and your time duration is equal to 1 second. So this directly implies that J is equal to force into time. So it is nothing but 100 into 1 second. Okay, 100 Newton into 1 second. So what I will get, beta? I will get 100 Newton second. 100 Newton second. Clear? So since just right now I have told you that change in momentum is nothing but your impulse. So according to the question, they are asking what is the change in momentum. So you will just say that change in momentum is nothing but your 100 Newton second. Okay. See, I have to calculate what? Impulse. And I know that mass of the ball is how much given? Mass is given 150 grams. So it will be 0.15 kg, right? Initial velocity is u and it is given plus 12 meter per second. But the final velocity v is your minus 20 meter per second. Okay. Why? Because it is turned back, beta. It is turned back. And velocity is your vector quantity. So I will use the mass, right? That's why it is negative. Now time of contact is how much? Time of contact is your 0.01 second. So impulse J will be what? change in momentum, just right now we have done. So it is nothing but mass V minus U, or I can say mass is your 0.15 kg into V is your what, now minus 20 and minus again 12. So it is nothing but your 0.15 into minus how much, 32, right? Minus 32. So what it will be, calculate and tell me. It will be how much, it is 4.8 minus, and it is Newton second, right? Because ये impulse है. So my option B is correct. Now what they are asking about the average force exerted by the bat. Average force exerted by the bat. Now see, I told you just right now the impulse is equal to force into time, right? Time duration, or I can say it is equal to your change in momentum. See, this is also and given by your average force, means this force is as a your average force acting in that duration. Okay, so I can say J is equal to F into delta T. So this implies that F is that your average force is equal to nothing but J by del T, means duration of time. So in question it is given J is equal to your 4.8 Newton second, delta T is your 0.01 second. So your average force will be what, nothing but 4.8 divided by 0.01. So what I will get, 480 Newton. What I will get, 480 Newton, and it is option A. So question number 8 they are asking about the retardation. Okay, retardation, or it can also be known, you can say negative acceleration. Okay, now see, when I am talking about a freely falling body, what you know, what you imagine, that if you throw something and it falls again due to gravity, so this is G. Now if anybody do such kind of activity that is doing like this way, now just throwing something like this, you will work on negative G, right? You will work on negative G, so it will be a negative acceleration due to gravity, na? Similarly, retardation is also a negative quantity. Now we have first law of motion, first equation of motion, first equation of motion. V is equal to U plus AT. AT is your what, acceleration. U is your what, initial velocity. V is your what, final velocity, right? So from this equation I can write V minus U by T is equal to A. So I just given here in the question, that is U, V and T value. So I will put in this equation. What I will get, A is equal to nothing but minus 20 minus 12 divided by your 0.01. So what I will get, minus 32 divided by 0.01, or I can say that 3200 meter per second square. So this is the magnitude of the retardation. Okay, this is the magnitude of your retardation. Since there is retardation beta, that's why I am taken this thing, minus 20 value it is given. Okay, so this is my option C will be your answer of question number 8.